Getting out on the bike in the winter for me is such a love-hate relationship. There are definitely elements I really love. Obviously I love the training and the riding and cycling in general, and getting fitter and the challenges that cycling naturally brings. But the added elements of like the snow and the ice and the winter, it's great and it's also horrible. There's a ferocious element to it that I do enjoy. You have to wear all those extra layers and you have to do all these things, and it's way harder to persuade myself to go out there. So I'm going to go out over the next few days on the bike and explore some of these ideas that have helped me more recently get out and persuade myself to actually do what's good for me. Hopefully you'll take some inspiration from that. Maybe there's some ideas you haven't thought of. And if you haven't thought of some of these ideas, or you have some ideas I haven't thought of, chuck them in the comments below. Let's get out riding.
Wear a helmet. Nope.
So it's cold out there.
So I need to get a few things online.
Qu'est-ce que je vais te nommer? Je vais te nommer l'amour, l'amour tendre, l'amour qui chante doucement dans mon cœur, l'amour qui danse lentement dans mon cœur. Sans logique, à la raison, l'amour et moi, nous sommes un, nous sommes un.
I'm spoiled for choice in terms of living in the Forest of Dean and just having so many options for routes. Recently I've just found myself exploring and finding a little route that I like, and then I get to the next time I ride it, just add a little bit more and slowly and gradually build upon that. And then I've got like a nice course, and then I can go somewhere else. And for me, like the main thing that gets me excited to go is thinking about something I may have seen, or like a road that I haven't gone down that I saw on my last ride. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what's down there. So for me, like always looking for ways to sort of get me excited to get out on the bike, and tricks to overcoming the blah, blah, blah mind that at first doesn't really want to get out of bed and go for the ride. But whenever I go for a ride afterwards, I'm just so full of energy and excited for the day. And I have these beautiful memories of this experience that I've had. So it's 100% worth it. Funny how like in the moment, you don't always know what's best for you. And it's hard to like zoom out and persuade yourself like, yeah, okay, this is what you actually want to do. Because in the moment, it just feels like this grueling like thing you have to force yourself to do, this tough thing. And often like I find in life that getting outside your comfort zone and pushing yourself to do things that at first are a little harder, usually on the other side of that are some of the best experiences I've had. So having a little daily practice of that, where I get to get up and go out on the bike, and even if I don't want to, or even if I don't want to face the wind and the cold, to just go out and realize that actually there's a lot of fun to be had, and look back and go, wow, that was great. For me, that's been a massive mindset shift towards my general happiness in life.
Oh, it's cold, but it is beautiful. On a day like today, when it's close to 0 Celsius, it's freezing cold, it's misty, there's loads of fog, it's raining, it's been snowing. I love it. It looks so cinematic everywhere you look. It keeps the ride interesting as the seasons change. The riding itself is different. So you're riding through the snow, you've got a little bit of a new challenge. Maybe the corners are a bit more slippery. Plus, it's just beautiful. There's one thing I like to keep in my back pocket on days like this, to give me something to look forward to when I have a break. And that's a flask of coffee.
Nothing like a cheeky coffee. Not only is it going to warm you up, it's also going to give you the caffeine kick to keep you going. One of the biggest things that gets me out the door is the thought of nature. That opportunity to connect with the forest. You're out on your gravel bike, you're riding about. I love it. Choose maybe a favorite route, something that's familiar, something that you know is going to be super rewarding. Maybe it's got a nice view, or you know where the sun rises through the trees. Maybe that's the thing that's going to get you out the door. One of my go-to things is to stick a headphone in one ear and listen to my favorite audiobook, podcast, or my favorite playlist on Spotify. It's another reason to get excited and have a little bit of dopamine reward when you're out on the bike. Another thing I think about is the path of least resistance. Keep it simple and have your kit ready to go the night before. Keep your bike cleaned and lubed. Put your shoes out, your helmet, so there's no extra faff. You don't want to around trying to get everything together, trying to find your kit early in the morning or whenever you're going out for a ride, because this is another excuse, another hurdle to climb through to get you out on the bike. So make it easy, have your kit there, put it on and get going. Keep it simple, keep it organized so you can concentrate on enjoying yourself. Sometimes it helps just to think about one foot in front of the other. There we go. There's bloody hill. Well, you can never really tell how steep things are on the camera, but bloody hell. What makes it more interesting is this hill. It's covered in these little pebbles, plus the stream of water, so your back will slipping if you get too much out of the saddle. Woo! Call it what you want. I might stop for now, but I'll never walk. Never. Another thing I should say is that you should stay hydrated during the winter. It's really important, even though you may not feel like drinking water, that you keep sipping away. Because not only is that going to keep your energy levels up for the ride, but also for your recovery afterwards. And try not to fall in the bush whilst you're doing it and recording. Getting warm gear is obviously essential for getting out in the winter, but it doesn't have to be all that expensive. They can get pretty crazy, those prices, but there are cheaper sources like maybe Amazon, or ask around. Maybe your local club has some, handy down kits. The jersey I wear between my layers, that was from my dad. Or you can try asking your wife, see if she's got some yoga pants in the closet that you can borrow, put those under your shorts. There's always options. Keep it minimal, work your way up. Your kit will build over time. Just get out there and have some fun. Another trick is to tell yourself you're only going out for 15 minutes. Let's be real, once you're out there and you start having fun, you're probably going to stay longer than 15 minutes, but essentially you're tricking yourself to get out the door. Don't overthink it. Just put your shoes on, one step in front of the other, and get going. Because once you're out there, you might realize that it's actually quite fun. You start warming up, and you may not go out for the whole day, but you certainly would go for longer than you would have otherwise. Something I learned recently was to sit back further on the saddle. I used to get a lot of numbness down there, and apparently this is caused by sitting too far forward on the saddle sometimes. I always wondered why, and I did find myself slipping forward a lot. So I think partly just the bike size was wrong, but I realize now, if I sit further back on the saddle, it's so nice. Oh, look. I'm not sure if my camera skills are doing it justice, but it's bloody beautiful out here. Anything for a nice view, I guess. I know not everyone is a date person, as in the fruit, but I love keeping them around in my saddlebag, my back pocket, because they're a natural pick-me-up that is still whole food and healthy. So good! Instead of candy, because it's still whole food. It's a lot healthier than candy, and still gives me a little pick-me-up, a little bit of sugar to keep me going. Well, results are in. It's bloody wet, cold, and muddy.